Welcome back to another episode of the Medium Cool Show. Today, we have a brand new episode for you guys. So we're going to be talking about Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. This movie takes place, I guess, in the post-apocalyptic future in Australia. Because in the beginning of the movie, it shows the globe and then it shows Australia when there's the shot of it going into Australia, but then it twists the other way upside down because it's kind of like a symbol for the world is upside down right now.
Yeah.
You know?
And also it's the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
Furiosa's
story, who was in Mad Max Fury Road from 2015, action extravaganza. This one, once again, is directed by George Miller. Yeah, he's directed
It is his baby franchise.
Yeah, and we want to introduce Peyton Wallace, who's a fan of the show.
They brought me in off the street. I've been a long time fan, so I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. He was a fan, and he wanted to be on the show, and we said, okay, why not? You know. So if you're a fan and you want to come on the Medium Cool Show, make sure to send us a message in the comments.
Your dreams too can come true, guys.
Yeah. So what were your guys' expectations for this film going into it after we saw Fury Road? And then also George Miller had that movie, 3,000 Years of Longing.
Yeah. I had pretty low expectations, to be honest, I think. Because I think it's really hard to top Fury Road. And I feel like it's really hard to follow that up.
For sure.
So I didn't want to go in expecting more than I got, you know? So, and I really did not like 3,000 Years of Longing. I felt like he really dropped the ball at the end. There were a lot of really cool sequences at the beginning. By the end, the story just fell flat, and I did not like it at all. So for this, I went into it kind of trying to taper my expectations, and I felt like that paid off. I did enjoy it. More than I felt like I would. I
came in hype as hell because I think Fury Road is probably the best action movie of this century. And I think this movie got harmed a little bit by the inertia and all the back and forth lawsuits with George Miller that we had so much time off.
Wait, what was that?
He had a dispute with Warner Brothers or whoever the production company is because they tried to not pay him for Fury Road.
Really? Damn.
So this movie, I think with all the Mad Max movies, even Fury Road was in some stage of pre-production for 25 years. And then this one also got dragged out. So I think part of this movie is harmed by the fact that we're so far away. But I was still hyped as hell. He can create a, visual image kind of like nobody else.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely for how old he is. This is a state-of-the-art action, pretty next level for what he is. This is a guy who's still at the top of his game, you know? He made Fury Road, and then that's his best movie. And he was probably in his 60s when he made it.
Yeah. He's 70-something now?
He's 79, dude.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. This is someone who should be probably in his 40s or some shit, but he actually got better as he got older, and he probably just got more patient and shit. And the fact that I think we got another Mad Max movie in a world. It's technically part of its own franchise, but still it's a very original idea, not based on any real IP besides the fact that it's in that universe. And I can see why maybe Warner Brothers wasn't going to pay him because it was probably really hard to shoot the first one, and it was probably cost so much, and it just was dragging on. And even the fact that we got this movie is pretty cool.
Yeah. Even
though it's not as good as Fury Road. I think some of the flaws that were in 3,000 Years of Longing, I kind of saw this within this movie because I feel this movie all builds to the middle point, and there's the craziest action scene ever right in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, that was the best action scene I think we've seen in a Mad Max movie.
Yeah, that was a crazy ass scene, and it's kind of your peak, and kind of goes down from there. You get some dope action sequences, but then there's kind of this, there's supposed to be more of there's a catharsis in the end because it is a revenge story too. But I feel the catharsis of the revenge story didn't really hit as hard as I wanted it to.
Right.
And also my problem with 3,000 Years of Longing was I didn't know when it was about to end because they do this weird editing where it's like fade in, fade out, fade to black, and it's like a bunch of small scenes in the end. And this one also kind of did that, where it's a bunch of like small scenes jumping forward, that like fading to black, and then I was kind of like confused by that. I was, just like the succinctness compared to the first one, which was like just completely succinct and like all like fits in there contained. It's also shorter. The Mad Max Fury Road is shorter than this one. This one was like 2.5 hours. Mad Max was like 2 hours.
Yeah, I feel like this is really harmed by the fact that they felt like they needed to catch up to Fury Road. They need to like catch up to like where the story's at, and we need to see all of like what makes Furiosa. But like I felt like we didn't really need to see all of her story because it's Anya Taylor-Joy, and like it should have been like the catalyst for who she is. That's all we really needed to see. We didn't really need to like feel like we needed to catch up to where the story of Fury Road starts.
I feel like this is harmed a little bit. So this is the first Mad Max movie that is not, or that is like connected in a sense. So the first three are really, I guess you would say, independent stories. And this is the first time in the Mad Max universe that we are really getting what is a direct prequel. And I think that harms it a little bit just because we know where Furiosa ends up in Fury Road. And so there is no real, I guess, catharsis in her revenge, because we still know that at the end of the movie, at the start of Fury Road, she still hasn't accomplished what she wants and is still, I guess, an angry individual. Mm-hmm. I think the runtime here, and something I took away from the movie, is this needed to be either like half an hour shorter or half an hour longer.
Yeah.
Mm. I feel like they teased us with this, like the 40 Days War. That really upset me.
Oh yeah, when they skip through that?
Yeah.
It's like a montage.
Yeah, and it was just her like building her arm or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one, it's a little bit confusing of where they're going, where they're coming back from. There's a lot of like back and forth. Oh, like they're gonna go to the Citadel. Oh, we're going to the gas station place. Like, which way are they going? In Fury Road, it's literally we're gonna go one way and then we're gonna go back. That's it. That's like the whole movie. It's like a very simple yet easy to follow movie, whereas this one is like back and forth, and I didn't actually know like what the goals were. Like I knew that Charlize Theron or Furiosa / ATJ, Anya Taylor-Joy, was trying to get like revenge for her family, like her mom being killed. That was like the only kind of through point I was following. But in terms of like what was happening with the wars and Liam Hemsworth's character, who is like also fighting the Citadel,
right?
And there's like all this kind of stuff that's in there. It's like very, I don't know, it's a lot, and I feel like it could have been condensed to something like the first one. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and that leans into something else that like I feel like was a big flaw of this movie, but it's something that George Miller does a lot in Mad Max, is kind of has this silent protagonist. Mm-hmm. And in Fury Road, Furiosa is really the standout character, right?
Yeah.
She's added to the world, and she's really someone that's like compelling, and you get a prequel for her. But in the prequel herself, she doesn't really become Anya Taylor-Joy until I'd say like close to halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
And then even then, she's pretty silent, and the person that's a standout star for this is Chris Hemsworth for sure. He gets more of like the character and a lot more scenes. Whereas Anya Taylor-Joy, even though she was Furiosa herself was stand out in Fury Road, I felt like she was like too overshadowed in this movie for her own movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I feel like in the end of the first Fury Road, the climax is when they kill Immortan Joe and he rips his face off, And then this one, we have the standoff between ATJ and Hemsworth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just like the main thing for me was I love the action. I do love the action sequences. They're fucking insane, I love the part where she's still young and she gets recruited to like climb down the fucking like the truck is like hanging off the cliff or whatever, and she has to like climb down and do that. That was sick as fuck. And then that's kind of how. And that was interesting story development, is seeing her kind of rise in the ranks and become a trusted person of this of Immortan Joe. That was cool. And then the fact that they kind of did a transition from the kid to ATJ, and you didn't really know when it was ATJ yet, and then you're like, oh wait, it's her, it's that actor now. You know what I mean? That was like a really cool transitional thing, and just the world building is amazing. 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
The way it looks and all the effects and everything is 10 out of 10. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just kind of like the storytelling is like a little whack.
I mean, this movie caught some flack early on because the initial trailer, the CGI didn't look very good. But I think the final product, outside of the one scene where Chris Hemsworth is like driving the truck trying to break down the gate at the bullet farm, maybe?
Yeah.
That's the only bad CGI in this movie, I think.
What was the bad part of it? Was it?
He was like framed, but it was like clearly he wasn't in the truck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So that was rough, but that in terms of the action sequences, I really think it is like the attack on the war rig and then the bullet farm siege. And both those are incredible.
Yeah, and then I do like the guy who plays her kind of sidekick, the truck driver who's, he's untouchable. Like, he's famous for being untouchable, and literally that whole scene, it's only them two left at the end of that one scene, but he's just like so calm during it and shit, and they kind of turn on each other, and then he throws her out, and he comes back, and like I kind of like that camaraderie in that.
Yeah, that scene was so sick. Oh my god.
Yeah, but definitely the film could have been shorter.
Yeah. But
I still really enjoyed it, and I think it's still one of my favorites of the year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is just next level. It's dope. Like, I would watch another one. I don't know if they're going to make another one because I don't think this one's making that much money.
Yeah.
It's just been a bona fide flop.
Yeah. It's a flop?
It's a flop.
Oh, so it's,
I think we're done with the Mad Max universe until
someone else picks it.
Yeah, they'll probably make it into a TV show or something, put it on Disney Plus.
Right.
Just like a series, something like that. Or they might just make a more... I think someone will, like, up-and-coming director might reboot it in a more contained, smaller story.
Yeah, Matt Reeves.
Yeah, something like, maybe like along the lines of like The Rover.
Yeah.
By David Mashad, like a post-apocalyptic, realistic, kind of more boots on the ground approach Mad Max. Maybe even like takes place in the Mad Max universe, but not a Mad Max movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting because this is like truly one of the only franchises where the creator has gotten every single film in the saga.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of 5-movie stretches where it's just one guy and it's been his direct vision like George Miller.
Mm-hmm.
So that's true. We will see. I guess I don't know where the rights will end up. HBO miniseries did The Adventures of Mad Max.
Yeah.
I think that'd be dope.
You guys see Mad Max or Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga? Let us know below what you guys think of this picture. You've been watching the Medium Cool Show. Until next time, take it easy, guys. Slat.